Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. Good to have you with us this morning. We've got a big show for you today, and we are celebrating our 5-year anniversary. Randy Ramsey's joining me now, my co-host from the Northwest College. Good to see you, Randy. It is the 17th of January. 5 years ago today, we started live streaming the show. Of course, the show's been around for many years. It was dormant for a while. We revived it, started live streaming, and then we all know what happened in March of 2020. We went into COVID lockdown, and we were still able to broadcast. So we're happy to be here 5 years later.
It's very exciting. It's nice to be able to keep people up to date and send out information. And yes, the COVID shutdown changed so many things. Some things good, some things bad, but we'll see. But I'm always excited to see you every Friday.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I didn't see you last week. I was gone. Were you here last week?
I was not. We didn't have a show
Okay.
on Friday, I was
Oh,
told.
that's right. We just started them on Monday. That's right. We started with the first day of classes. So it's a big week for our students. The first week is under your belt. So we got the rest of the semester to go. We are here every Monday through Friday, just about when HCC is in session. We go live at 10 a.m., but you can always catch our show in social media, Randy, and on our cable channel.
That's right. We're on the Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC. We're on YouTube. We're also on X, LinkedIn, and HCC TV at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Okay, we are going to kick things off right now. I'm going to introduce a guest who you normally don't see. We talk to him every day online, but he is the director of our show. Nathan Hale's joining us here. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you. It's you look different from this side of the
I know, because
camera.
you're used to looking at me in the computer monitor. We're going to get into the whole process of how we do things, but today's a special day. You were here back when we started this show. When we started it, relaunched it, I guess you could say. More than 1,000 episodes. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it is. It's quite the run, and it's gone through some changes through
Yeah.
the times. But I think it's kind of a nice showpiece for HCCTV in how it kind of launched, how we changed and
Right.
developed in other areas, which we'll get into.
Yeah, I mean, this show has really changed throughout the 5 years, but we're glad to be here this morning. We're going to talk more about that in about 10 minutes. But Randy, we've been welcoming all of our presidents on the show over the past week, and you've got a special guest who's joining us from the Northwest College.
I do. I'm very excited to welcome to the show Dr. Zachary Hodges, the Northwest College president. Good morning. And I just want to say, Northwest College is a prime example of the right things to do because you guys have been increasing enrollment every semester. And, we're just super excited to have you here. So welcome and good morning.
Good morning, Randy. How are you? I'm so pleased to hear you're an adjunct instructor in our film program. So that's a connection. And then Nathan's one of our graduates. So remember Nathan when he was a student. So gosh, it's home week, Northwest College home week. So we're excited. And what a great program. That film program is outstanding. So warms my heart to see how
we have a good time out there at
Yes, you
Ames.
do have a
And
good time.
this is the second time I've been an adjunct. I was an adjunct 18 years ago. It's the first teaching job I ever had was at HCC. I taught as a student teacher at Cal Arts, and then when I moved to Houston, I got hired at HCC, and then have taught at several different places, but thrilled to be back home. Now, tell us, how is the enrollment going this spring? Because I hear we have some good news.
Well, enrollment's up about 11% for our college. Northwest College is really West Houston. It's our A-Leaf Hayes campus at Westheimer and Hayes Road, our technical center at Bissonnette and Eldridge, our new Katy campus, which isn't so new anymore, and our Spring Branch campus, which is at the Beltway and I-10. So we are booming in enrollment and new programming. And, one of the things I'm really excited about is not only all the new students that we have, but the returning students, students who are working to finish their program, and that number is up significantly. So returning students that are continuing their education is a big deal for us. They need to complete. We haven't done so well on that in the past. We're doing well about that right now, so I'm real happy about that.
Well, that is indeed good news, because I know that matters a lot, and also that we're giving our students a high quality education that, makes a difference. Now, I moved out to Katy a few years ago, and I live not far from the Katy campus. So I hear that we're already bursting at the seams. So how are we addressing the growth and needs in Katy, which, for those of you in the viewing audience who haven't been out here lately, is booming?
It is booming, and we're strategically located at the Grand Parkway and Interstate 10, just across the street from the University of Houston, Katy. We say start in Katy, finish in Katy. That's a high priority for us, is a P16 pathway for students through the Katy Independent School Districts and surrounding school districts, and other students, to provide them with that opportunity to complete their programs in Katy. It's not easy to drive over to the University of Houston or up to A&M or Prairie View. So we are strategically linked at the hip with the University of Houston to provide that experience for Katy. And you're right, it's booming. It's unbelievable, the number of homes that are going up out there.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I first came out here, there was nothing out here. But now, and also, I will say, you strategically put our HCC campus right next to Katy Asiatown. So in addition to it being easy to get to, there's great food options.
Great food options. Can you believe that? The other thing, though, is that new Katy campus is really designed for today's students. Very hands-on, open, maker space. We have our engineering program. We have a new ag program. It's wide open, lots of assistance. So we really designed that around today's student, and it's been successful. We're at about 4,500 students at that campus, which is amazing that we're fitting them all in.
It's really amazing, and it's amazing. The academies, you're expanding the academy. So can you update us on that too?
Yes, we have an engineering academy where you're co-enrolled with the Cullen College of Engineering at the University of Houston. And U of H teaches the engineering courses and mentors our students. And then we do all the academic courses. Much better to take Calculus 1, 2, and 3 in a class of 35 rather than 200. And it's an opportunity for these students to go through the program together. So, as a cohort, they have their, fellow classmates, and they get to know them. And, engineering is a team effort. And so we're excited about that approach. It's been very successful. Then we have a new agriculture academy with Sam Houston State, where those students are co-enrolled in the agriculture program at Sam Houston. And Sam Houston's working with us, and their faculty are on campus. And we have a new greenhouse, and everything is in place. Received a $350,000 grant to build that greenhouse. It is first class. And we want the community to be involved too. A lot of urban gardening going on in the Katy area.
Well, I'm excited because I haven't seen the greenhouse yet, but my daughter and I are scheduled to go over there. She's got some environmental volunteer hours to do. But also, we were talking earlier this week with Sandra Louvier on the show, talking to her about the Entrepreneurial Center. Now, you were instrumental in the success of that too, weren't you? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That program started 18 years ago with a group of volunteers from Memorial Drive Presbyterian Church that wanted to make a difference in the community. They say I came up with the idea of a business plan competition. And 18 years later, we've received over, I think the number was $3.2 million in volunteer hours for those years, and awarded over $400,000 for the winners. And so it's a citywide program, one of the most successful programs in the city, and we're so proud of it. Lots of
Well,
things
I think
going on.
there are so many things going on, and we have about 1 minute left. So as we wrap, what's the next thing on your agenda that you are the most excited about?
I think the whole idea of increasing enrollment, which we're doing, the whole retention aspect of getting students to work in the right place, in the right seat, ready to learn, and then maximizing that opportunity for them through the outstanding faculty we have. I'm so impressed with our admissions people and our advisors and how they approach our students. And we want students graduating. We want them to go on to that next step, whether it's in the workforce or at a university. The sky's the limit, but we want to be that access point to maximize that opportunity for the Katy community as well as all of the other communities that we serve. And we're doing it.
Well, I'm very excited always to start a new semester and get my students in the classroom. So, and always excited to hear what new and new stuff we have going on, because it is so busy at HCC these days. So, Dr. Zachary Hodges, president of HCC Northwest, thank you so much for being on the show this morning, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again soon.
Great. Yeah, great being here.
And then after commercial break, Todd will talk to our behind the scenes guest to launch our 5-year anniversary.
When I grow up, I want to work in a lab to build robots.
From classroom to career, we're with you every step. Register for real-world education at hccs.edu.
Possibilities are all around us. Together, we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved today at rotary.org/action.
I'm a first-generation Filipino American. You don't always feel you're a part of the country you live in. It's this weird middle space sometimes that you have to live inside of. But when you meet others that are also living in that space, you'll learn to know that it's its own unique space too.
Welcome back to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. We're live from the HCC TV studios this morning. It is Friday, January the 17th, and the 17th of January is a big day for us because that is the day that we kicked off this version of the show, half-hour live streaming on Facebook and YouTube, shown on HCC TV, Up to the Minute. We've been doing it for 5 years today. And one of the men who was responsible for getting the show on the air and maintaining it, Nathan Hale's joining me right now. Nathan, good to see you. Nathan is our director. We're used to hearing him, but not seeing him because he is the director. He's behind the scenes. But here you are in front of the camera, and you've been in the front of the camera a few times.
A few times, though.
Yeah.
I'm much more comfortable behind it.
Behind
I like
the
being in
scenes.
control and not out in the open. But that's okay. Every once in a while, I could peek out from behind there.
Well, we've got you on camera today. Folks may not know, but you were a student here at one time. In fact, we hired you on when you were a student.
I was back in the fall of 2015.
Long ago.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Yeah, I took a work study position here. It was my second one. In fact, I recall at the end of my first semester work study, you wanted more than 19 and a half hours, and
Yeah.
you went ahead and offered me the full-time position here, even though I hadn't graduated yet.
Yep.
And I enjoyed it so much here, I didn't hesitate. The previous work study job I had also offered a position, but I'd already been told about an opportunity for HCCTV work study. I was like, no, I want to get my feelers out there and check my options, and I think I definitely made the right choice.
Well, we got lucky. We got lucky with you. I'll tell you that, man, because you've been instrumental since you've started. One of the things you've been instrumental with is this show. Now, I don't think people know, but we started the show live streaming. Then we went into lockdown for COVID, and we had to figure out a solution to keep doing this remotely. And you found a program called OBS. It was a bit complicated. You tried to show it to me, and I'm like, oh no, that's way over my pay grade. But you became so efficient, and this is a producing program that you started teaching it and you became an adjunct. So tell us about that.
So yeah, OBS or Open Broadcast Software. I had started using maybe a year or so before the pandemic and the lockdown. Initially, I think I was first using it for a show we were doing here called Watchers in the Basement.
Yeah.
Which quite a few of us came together and would do these podcasts on, the Avengers movies or whatever the pop culture topic of the week was. So
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, oftentimes. We had a lot of fun with that. Of course, I was already kind of set up with an understanding of OBS at that time. So the moment we were suddenly like, hey, we're not going back in the office, I was like, I got an option on what we can do.
Yeah. And it worked out very well because we're still using that system today. And we use it for a number of shows that we're doing. And you have been involved in other shows besides this. I know we're doing, you and I do a show that we started on our own. Now it's shown on HCCTV because why not?
The Road Beyond.
The Road Beyond podcast. That's right. That's been going on now for about going on 4 years?
4 years.
Yeah, 4 years doing that. But tell us about some of the other shows you've been involved in as well with this.
So there's The Topic, of course, which is a weekly show we've been doing for, oh goodness, that was going before I even started here.
Yeah, we started as a 5-minute episode. We were originally doing it as just a 5-minute show.
Kind of like up to the minute started, actually. It used to be a minute long.
Yeah.
So yeah, Topic, I've done Lifestyle and Culture, which we've now adapted into a segment and up to the minute.
Right.
There's a Veterans Voice, which I believe Carlos has taken over directing on that. And
Yeah,
he's
he was
back
another one
directing
of our
right
students. Yeah, he's directing. He was another one of our students too. He's been working full time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on that, about the work study opportunities, I wanted to touch on that. I like to tell students to take the opportunity to do as many internships and work study opportunities as you can get. Not only does it give you necessary experience, but it gets you a foot in the door. And oftentimes, just like it did with me, it can turn into a full-time job. So I always stress that to students.
Yeah. I mean, I talk about that as well. When I worked in news, the news director from Fox 26, who eventually hired me, I just happened to go to a conference at the University of Houston, a TV news conference, and I was sitting next to her at a table. Within 10 years, I was working for Fox as a reporter and anchor, fill-in anchor and stuff. So, I mean, those jobs are real, but you got to get out there and do these internships.
Oh, yeah.
And do that. So tell me, besides working on Up to the Minute and directing these shows, you also have an active role in a lot of the productions we do, primarily commencement. I know you've been involved in the board meetings as well.
Oh, yeah. So earlier on, I had a lot more involvement in the board meetings. That's kind of changed up, and some of those roles are now, there are others who've been trained up and they're now taking those, such as the board meetings. But I typically am still directing commencement, state of the college, convocation, as well as I'll handle some of the promotional videos for HCC, and probably my kind of not pet project, but the thing that I enjoy doing the most would be the student success / credentials of value stories. It's an opportunity each month to highlight an HCC student that has excelled and showing their accomplishments and being able to share that. And for me, it's not only fun to shoot, and I like seeing the reaction and hearing the reaction from the students when it's completed, and they see, like, in this encapsulated story of a period in their life that was transformative for them.
Right.
And I like having something to kind of highlight their accomplishment that they always ask, can I get the link? I want to share that with friends and family. And that means a lot to me.
Well, it means a lot because they're getting highlighted, in many cases. So many of our students don't get a chance. There's so many stories of overcoming the odds that our students go through. It's just rewarding to be able to highlight just a small tip of the iceberg of these for that. What would you say are your biggest accomplishments here since you've been on board?
There's biggest, and then there's favorite.
Yeah.
So there was some shoots we've had that I've really enjoyed. We had one we shot here in studio for the Lumina grant
Yeah.
project, and we got all these boxes with labels on
Yeah.
them. Muhammad helped with the visual
Right,
effects at
right.
the end and the transition, the video. I thought it was just rather brilliant. I really liked it. Then probably the game of tuition.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Justin, Frank, Brittany, George, Andrew, we got together and we created these just fun kind of spoofs of
Yeah.
Game of Thrones that
Right.
were all about attending HCC, and we had a lot of fun. One's for registration, one's about commencement, and they were just something to get information out to the students. But those were some of our most successful videos in social media. Like they caught like wildfire.
I like the Darth Vader one.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of my favorites.
Elevator.
Yeah, Elevator.
Yes.
If you are wondering about these videos we're talking about, you may see snippets of them, but go to our YouTube channel for Houston Community College District. Google on the YouTube channel, Game of Tuition. It's some pretty good stuff.
It's fun stuff.
It's a lot of fun stuff. And I know you appear in a couple of those as well. I know you've got another big accomplishment coming up. It's not on script, but you've got a special event at the end of the month, don't you?
Yeah, actually a week from today.
Oh, wow. All right.
I will be getting married to the love of my life, MJ, who's actually probably watching this right now.
There you
go. So once again, calling you out. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she's just crazy, but she said yes when I proposed. So
well, congratulations to you, and congrats on your career here at HCCTV. You're not allowed to leave, by the way. Okay. You have to be here. You're not allowed to quit or move on to another job. You have to be.
Well, I guess that's job security, right?
Yeah, your job security. Yeah. Nathan Hale, our director for Up to the Minute, and a man who wears lots of hats. Thanks for being here today. And
thanks for having me.
Good to have you on board. All right, we are going to take another 1-minute break. When we come back, Randy and I have a few announcements.
At HCC, your dreams are within reach.
When I grow up, I want to work at the hospital. When I grow up, I want to work in a lab to build robots. When I grow up, I want to work at a school and be a teacher.
From classroom to career, we're with you every step. Register for real-world education at hccs.edu.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Welcome back to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and we're live from the HCC TV studios this morning. We've got a few announcements to go through. Swoop to the future to HCC and beyond. HCC students will be able to visit student resources, learn all about them. We're talking about library services, counseling, ability services, tutoring, financial coaching, and career services. Everything you need for your HCC journey. It's happening 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Wednesday, January 22nd at HCC's Northwest campus. Check our post after the show for more information. And Randy, on that same day, there's a blood drive happening.
That's right. HCC Southeast Weeks of Welcome Resource Fair continues with a blood drive that will also feature some swag. It's at the East Side Campus Student Life Center, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Wednesday, January 22nd. Check our post after the show for more info.
For the sake of time, I want to mention right now that Monday we will not be on the air because it is observance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Of course, we will not be on the air. HCC campuses will be closed. Another takeaway, we're going to be expected to undergo some very serious weather involving possible snow, possible ice. HCC is monitoring the conditions right now. Should anything need to be done, we will text our students and send out emails, and that goes for faculty and staff as well. So keep in mind, Tuesday's a little bit sketchy as well. So make sure you have your phones and make sure you register to get those texts and emails. Randy, we're wrapping up with registration. If folks want to register for Second Start, they can go to one website.
That's right. You just head over to our hccs.edu/apply, and then you can go ahead and sign up. 5 ways to learn, as always, online on a schedule, hybrid, in-person, hybrid lab, lots of opportunities, as you heard earlier, lots of ways to learn. Come join us, be part of the HCC family.
There is always time to register. We got year-round registration. Next one's coming up very shortly. Okay, up to the minute, no show on Monday. Tuesday, we're scheduled to have Dr. Michael Edwards of the Northeast College. He is the president there as we continue welcoming our presidents. And up to the minute continues our 5-year anniversary next week. Brittany Pacheco and Frank Cooper. Remember those names? Yeah, they were here in the early days. Now they're still around at HCC doing other things. We'll hear all about that. They'll be on the show next week as well. Randy, keep in mind, we got some sketchy weather over the weekend. Make sure you stay safe out there.
Yeah, everybody stay safe, stay warm, keep an eye on the forecast, and looking forward to seeing you all back here next week.
Looking forward to it. Have a great weekend, folks. Long weekend one way or another. Be safe. We'll see you next week.